Israel launched an airstrike targeting Hamas leaders who were gathered in Qatar, reportedly to discuss a ceasefire proposal. In a statement, the office of Israel's prime minister described the Hamas leaders as, quote, the top terrorist chieftains of Hamas, end quote. And they said the strike was a wholly independent Israeli operation. Now, this comes 2 days after President Donald Trump gave what he declared was his last warning to Hamas to accept his terms. How significant is this latest development? Well, joining me now in studio to discuss this, Brigadier General Amir Avivi, who retired from the Israeli Defense Forces in 2017 with more than 30 years of military, counterterrorism, and national security experience today. He is the founder and chairman of Israel's Defense and Security Forum. General, welcome to Washington Watch.
Thank you very much.
Now, the organization that you head now is an organization of conservative Israeli military officers. And so there's about 60,000 of those military officers that share the viewpoint that Israel needs to be strong if they're going to be safe.
Definitely. We believe that national security is first and foremost about national values. It's our deep connection to Judaism, to Zionism, to the land of Israel. We need to reside along defensible borders and be able to defend ourselves by ourselves.
Well, that sets up our conversation here, because I first want to ask you about how significant was this strike today, taking out Hamas chief leaders in Qatar?
So at the beginning of the war, we set a very clear goal of war that says eradicating Hamas as a governmental and military entity. And the guys in Qatar, these terrible terrorists, they were the government of Hamas. So this is part of the goal, really, to eradicate Hamas as a governmental entity. They initiated the 7th of October massacre.
Right.
They commanded it, and now they're paying the price.
So this should expedite, when you look at command and control, if they've been controlling the operations there in Gaza, this should expedite the finality of what's been happening in Gaza, and now with this last bold initiative to eliminate Hamas in Gaza City. Should this not come to a conclusion fairly soon?
Yeah, I think that in the coming months there will be a decisive win in the Gaza Strip, which will enable us to destroy Hamas and bring back our hostages. Hamas has only two strongholds remaining, the city of Gaza and some areas in the central camps. The city of Gaza is really the governmental center of Hamas. This is the main brigade of Hamas that is left. And going into Gaza City and destroying this stronghold will bring Israel very close to a decisive win in Gaza. And the surrender of Hamas will enable us also to get all our 48 remaining hostages back home.
General Avivi, I want to go back to what you said about your organization that brings these Israeli officers together who have a strong voice in Israel. They're highly respected by the people, but there's a connection to the land. Judea and Samaria, all right, we talk about that a lot in this program. 80% of what we read about in the Bible occurred in Judea and Samaria. You cannot understand the Jewish identity without understanding Judea and Samaria. But yet, this is what the United Kingdom, what France, what Spain, and other countries are going to go to New York later this month and advocate for a two-state solution. We know now, after 17 years of Hamas governing in Gaza, that is not a solution. What is the solution?
Well, you know, the land of Israel, all of it, from the sea to the Jordan Valley, or as they like to say here, from the river to the sea, all of the land of Israel, all its width is 45 miles. And for this 45 miles, which is not even a city, the vast majority of the area is the mountains of Judea and Samaria. So you have the mountains, and then you have the Jordan Valley, and you have this small coastal area where many of the Israeli cities are. Israel cannot be viable, cannot exist spiritually or physically without the mountains of Judea and Samaria. This is the one place where all our history is, and it's not by chance. It's because you cannot live in this land if you are not on the mountains.
So is that why the international community is wanting to separate the Jewish people from that land?
Yeah, I mean, they want to bring us back to a 9-mile width area, like a small concentration camp where they'll put all the Jews and we'll be defenseless. And we were kicked out of our land 4 times.
If those who are advocating for the so-called two-state solution to confine the Jewish people to that narrow strip, they're actually against the Jewish people.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically promoting an idea that will destroy completely the state of Israel. And this is something we cannot accept. Now, we all want solutions, but first you don't give up your identity to solve a problem. Right. We are the Jewish people, we are the people of Israel. This is the land of Israel, it's our land. We are the indigenous people of this land. This is our ancestral land. And yes, we want to coexist. We want to find a solution for some kind of self-governance in the areas where you have Arabs living in cities, in Judea and Samaria. And I think there are solutions, definitely.
Well, we've got less than a minute left, General, but many of the Arab leaders in Judea and Samaria, like in Hebron, for instance, they want to come under the Israeli government in a form of emirates.
Exactly. So really the solution for Gaza and for Judea and Samaria are city-states, are emirates run by the local clans.
The families.
The families.
Which is the history of that region.
Definitely. This is the way the Arab society is built. They detest the Palestinian Authority. They want them gone, and they want to cooperate with Israel, enjoy economy, prosperity,
and the absence of corruption.
Definitely.
General, I want to thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming in studio, and we appreciate you sharing your insights with us.
Thank you very much.